Welcome back to the Winner Stays On podcast, and it is episode 1. First one. And today, we're going to be talking about a lot of soccer. Copa America final was yesterday. Euro final was today. This is Sunday, July 11th. Gold Cup is starting. There's baseball news. A lot of injuries from our team, especially the Braves.
Game 3 finals.
Game 3 finals is on right now.
There's a lot going on.
It's a lot of sports going on, and we're happy about it.
1-0 USA. As we're recording this, USA is playing Haiti, and it is 1-0.
In 1 minute.
At the 21st minute. Samuel Vines. Never heard of him, honestly. Our left back. But yeah, we'll be talking about soccer today.
Okay, so let's start off with the Copa America. So Leo Messi and Argentina finally get their trophy, their major trophy. And by majors, we mean
Copa and World Cup.
It's usually your continent's cup. So for CONMEBOL, which is the South American Cup.
There's really just 3. It's really just Copa, Euro, World Cup. Because
those
Gold
are the
Cup,
three major
Cup of
championships
Nations
for
are not
soccer.
really big.
And when you're Messi and playing Argentina, obviously Argentina's not going to play in the Euros because that's European teams. So Messi gets 2 chances, every 4-year cycle.
What is this, like his 5th final he's been in, I think?
It's his 5th final. He was 0-4 before. Lost in the 2007 Copa final.
What was that like? I think Brazil.
2014 World Cup final.
Yep.
Which, by the way, let's quick disclaimer. Back, that was about when I was starting to get into soccer. And
I know what you're about to say.
Yeah, and if I had known Messi's hardships and struggles in the finals, I would have rooted for them a little harder. I didn't really have a preference in that game. When I saw Germany win, I was like, oh, cool. Goetze, nice. 112th, 114th minute, whatever it was.
Yeah, I remember watching that, and I just remember Messi had that free kick at like the 120th minute, and I was just like, he sailed it over, and I was like, oh, okay, Germany's going to win. Messi, I know he's really good.
Yeah. So
I don't really know who he was that much.
But, then in 2015, they lose to Chile on, I think they lost.
They lost 2 years in a row in pens.
Yeah, so they lost to Chile twice in pens. And, I think it was 2016, Messi sailed it in penalties. And I also remember watching that game.
That was the Centenario, right? Or
yeah, that was the one in the United States. That was when Messi actually drubbed the U.S. 4-0. Not by himself, but he had that free kick to become Argentina's all-time goal scorer in international competition. But Messi finally gets it done. I am so happy. I was watching the game last night, and I don't know, when the final whistle blew and they dropped to their knees. Messi dropped to their knees, and then Argentina was just jubilant.
It was cool to watch.
Yeah, I don't know. It was fantastic. Seeing them singing after, whatever, their chant. But
it was also good to see someone other than Messi actually score the goal. Like, I bet
but that's the thing.
Yeah, I bet you Argentina players have saw the things, and they're like, oh, we give Messi no help. But to see the fact that Di Maria scored that goal, that was good for Di Maria.
And that was kind of going into my point, is that the reason why Messi was 0-4 in these finals is, okay, yes, Messi, missed a pen. He, missed a free kick, but it's been the supporting cast that has stunk the bed in his finals. When he was 0-4, Higuain missed so many chances against Germany in the World Cup final. Martinez missed a couple chances in the Copa this year, actually. But even Messi in the 89th minute had a sitter, and he missed.
Messi haters would have gone off if Brazil ended up scoring. And that's why I literally texted you that right when it happened. I was like, or right after, I was like, what if Brazil scored there? Messi would have been destroyed. Yeah. And they got on to lose. Oof.
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like Messi now is the GOAT.
Oh, no, plenty of people are saying now Messi's the GOAT.
Now, I'm a guy
I've always liked Ronaldo. I've been more of the Real Madrid than
Messi
Barcelona.
Fan.
You have always been more Barcelona than Real Madrid.
I'm not Barcelona. I'm Messi.
Okay, yeah, I would say I'm more Real Madrid. Well, the reason I liked Real Madrid was because of Bale. This is actually a Bale jersey behind him. One game, El Clasico game, I remember vividly is the one where it was 3-2 and Messi had that goal at the 90th.
Oh, at the Bernabeu.
That's you can't really watch El Clasico games much here in the United States, so unless you have Fubo or
BN
Sports. Yeah. But I do remember that vividly, but that's besides the point.
That's probably actually my favorite Messi moment.
That game was awesome.
Probably in the past couple of years. Obviously last night probably is now. But so yeah, it's very interesting the Ronaldo and Messi GOAT debate because
You see a bunch of different things.
Well,
you call him
the first
Penaldo.
thing- yeah.
Other people call him Pessi.
Yeah, I've seen Leo Gay Pessy Dog. I've seen Gaynaldo. It's just people on Instagram in the comments.
It's kind of like the LeBron James Michael Jordan debate. Both sides are never going to give the other side the GOAT. So I think it's just one of those things where you appreciate both, and if you have your opinion on something, and like a lot of people also say Pele's the GOAT or Maradona.
Yeah, true.
I do think now that Messi won the thing, he can elevate over Maradona.
Yeah.
But Copa America, I mean, I think do you think the Copa America or Euros is more valuable in your opinion? What do you think?
I think the Euros have more prestige. I think the Euros play better soccer.
It's just like Copa America has 10 teams.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can 24. Do about that. Like, there's nothing you can do about that.
There's 10 teams. Every team plays.
I just look at the Copa and I'm just like, obviously it's less than the World Cup, but
well, yeah, even the Euros are too. But there's one thing I want to say going back to you were talking about kind of Messi versus Ronaldo, and same thing with like Jordan versus LeBron. I think what a lot of people in like the United States especially don't realize about the Messi-Ronaldo debate is that like it's truly like worldwide, because soccer is the sport that's probably played most around the world. You know, all these countries,
it's the most popular for sure.
Yeah, all these countries. You know, when kids are growing up, they want to play soccer instead of basketball. And here, especially in America, it's football, like American football, the NFL. You don't have a lot of people in South America who are like, I want to become an NFL player.
Yeah.
It's interesting because like all the best athletes in these countries are playing soccer, and in the U.S., imagine if all these NFL players were insane soccer.
Imagine if soccer was the most popular sport.
Imagine if Odell
States,
Beckham stayed with soccer.
Like, there's a reason the United States are not the best team. It's because it's not their most popular sport.
But what I'm saying with Messi and Ronaldo is that like it's truly worldwide. So you have a wide amount of people who have very strong opinions, because also it's pretty funny because Messi and Ronaldo are like completely opposite people.
Mm-hmm.
Ronaldo, has always been associated more like the flashy side of soccer, kind of like
he's like the physical specimen.
Specimen. He's
looks
kind of very outgoing, exactly.
Glamorous.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I like he's into the money, kind of like represents that fame and life. And Messi on the other hand is like a family guy. Not that Ronaldo isn't, but like Messi kind of his public image, the way he like built his own brand. So he's
like if you go to the average person in the world that doesn't know soccer and you said, do you know Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi? People are going to say Ronaldo because he could have been in a fashion commercial, or he has the most followers on Instagram of all time.
And Ronaldo is probably one of the greatest goal scorers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And again, that's a flashy thing about soccer. Messi's, it's just, to me, I think Messi's the GOAT just because I think he does more on the soccer field. I mean, he led the Copa in goals and assists, and was player of the match in the championship in the final, and was player of the tournament. I mean, obviously, when you're leading goals,
I think they're both super close.
I just think Messi has more raw soccer talent.
Yeah,
and that's why I think he's the GOAT.
I'm just not going to give anyone a GOAT unless one of these players won the World Cup and weren't old and just on the roster.
There's the argument that Ronaldo, and I hate his championship was weak argument, because you still have to win the championship. So everyone talks about how Ronaldo's Euro 16 triumph was really trash.
Yeah, I never look at someone's championship and I'm just like, it's a bad championship, because
like the Mickey Mouse ring with the whole LeBron joke, like it's funny, I get it, but it's like they still had to be teams.
I go on Twitter and Instagram, and I think people just do it for likes at this point. But
yeah, exactly.
You just leave the first thing, and it's just like England, Italy. People were like, England's Euro doesn't count at all. Now I can see why. We can get into that later, but I see why it's not. It has an effect on it, but the fact that they played most of their games at home isn't the very reason they won, or it's not a reason you should make an invalid championship.
England beat Ukraine because they were the better team. They beat Denmark because let's not like
the best team won the Euros.
England
we'll get into that. Yeah.
England got a soft pen at the end, but they were clearly the better team than Denmark, and England can play outside Wembley and show that, I think. But Messi, going back to the Copa, Messi wins the Copa America, finally gets that monkey off his back, kind of gets that burden lifted. He lifts an international trophy with the senior team. And, in the GOAT debate, that is kind of the one thing that people were like, okay, that's the one thing that's missing. He can't win with Argentina. He chokes again with Argentina. Well, now he's got his kind of domestic, it's not domestic, his continental cup Ronaldo got his, Messi got his. Now, if one of them won the World Cup,
I just
but
like. I don't think
even if Messi wins the World Cup, there's still gonna be people who say Ronaldo.
Well, yeah, but other than the World Cup, there's nothing left that like
either
can
one
separate them completely for both fans.
And it's very interesting because it's like
It's just like
it's same with Jordan, LeBron. Like LeBron's got all the stats, Jordan's got pure like championships and just like the winning mentality. But if you want stats, it's LeBron. If you want number of championships, it's Bill Russell. It's like, but there's always people.
There's different ways you can look at it.
Yeah, there's different ways you can call someone the GOAT. It's very hard to just say greatest of all time. It's like,
okay, we're a sports podcast, right? Is there like we can go on any sport? Is there any sport that literally has a true GOAT where mostly everyone agrees?
I honestly, I think
the only one I think of is hockey, and it's Wayne Gretzky.
I would think
I don't know
that
much about
Tom
hockey.
Brady gets a lot of.
Like some people are like Peyton Manning was so much more talented, so he's the GOAT.
Yeah,
I do think Tom Brady is the most out of the major sports, though.
I know. I get what you're saying. It comes down to what defines GOAT. Is it winning? Is it talent?
Mm-hmm. It's different for everybody.
Stats?
Like I bet you people that
Is it the
are
eye test?
on the Ronaldo side are more with LeBron.
Because if it's wins, it's Tom Brady.
Yeah.
If it's like the greatest winner in sports history, I think it's Tom Brady.
I think Tom Brady would be up there. I don't really know off the top of my head who else would
But
be
Aaron
up there.
Rodgers probably has more raw talent.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, what do you? I think you have to.
I don't really like
doing.
I don't really like doing that conversation just because there's never actually an end to the conversation, and that's why it's always so popular on sports media shows because you're never going to actually find a definitive answer. So you can just extend the conversation as long as possible and continue just milking out viewers because of the stupid argument on who's the GOAT.
Exactly. So, I'm always up for a good GOAT argument. I just think if you're trying to come to a conclusion, then there's no point in having it. Because people are going to argue without having their own view swayed. They're just trying to change your view.
Yeah.
And you're not going to change it's kind of a pointless argument. Now, if you want to be like, kind of compare, that's fine. But don't be like, oh, he's better than him. Because, a lot of these players that we're crowning GOATs are not even done playing.
Exactly. Like
Patrick Mahomes, he could be up there at the end. And people are like, he's the next this. It's like, no, he's the next Patrick Mahomes.
But do you think, okay, is there a clear argument that Messi and Ronald are the 1-2? Or is like Pele still up there? But
I think Pele's still up there.
I don't know about Pele.
So it's
Pele
really
won two World Cups.
Yeah, so Pele won
I don't know
Brazil a
anything
couple
about Pele,
times.
honestly.
He was somewhere around 800 goals all time, and then Messi
like
or
club
Messi,
and country.
I don't, yeah,
Or do they have
just
club back then?
in competition. Yeah, they had club.
Messi and Ronaldo, I feel like have a lot more than that, or do they?
No, they're actually
Messi
pretty
scored,
close.
like
But the
91
interesting
in 1
thing,
year.
yeah, which is insane.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is that Pele, after they broke Pele's goal scoring record, came out and said he actually scored like 300 or 400 more. That they didn't count it because it was like in like some like amateur league, and it's like, all right, buddy, like
whatever. Again, never gonna get a.
You're not gonna get a clear answer. It's fine.
You never can pass the.
But Messi furthers himself in that conversation and makes a stronger case with a. It
was just good for soccer. No matter if you're a Ronaldo or Messi fan, you always like to see the players that are the best in the sport win because they deserve to win.
Yeah. So moving on from the Copa, let's talk Euros. So the Euro final was today, and let's just say it's not coming home, and it's going to Rome instead. To be honest, I wasn't really rooting for anyone.
It was so hard because like going to the penalty shootout, I was like, I want England to win because I think England, it would be awesome to see the fans go crazy, but it's also like Italy, Chiellini and Bonucci and all of them, it would be awesome to see them win.
Yeah. So Italy, I think Italy were the best team in the tournament. Mm-hmm. I think if you combine their offense and defense, they have a very sturdy back line. Obviously, Bonucci and Chiellini. Donnarumma won player of the tournament. Player of the
first
tournament
goalkeeper ever.
Yeah, so he played out of his mind. They have Chiesa. They have Insigne. And Italy played with a very stout defense, but also played attacking soccer. England, on the other hand, with an attacking lineup, plays 5 in the back with 2 holding mids. And I get it, like a really stout defense is going to get you to grind out results, but England scored in the 5th minute and then bunker down for 100 against Italy.
The Croatia game.
Yeah,
all over in Croatia.
When you go 1 up, like you can. I get you're going to kind of drop back because you want to protect. You have something to protect now. You have a lead protect, but it's kind of like it's not all like fantastic if you score in the 5th minute because that means Italy have 85 minutes to score. So
yeah, you almost like think like that goal in the 5th minute. I was just thinking to myself, but like it was almost
Trippier scored in the 5th minute in the World Cup.
It was like I think it was like the 3rd minute. Actually.
Yeah, it was a Luke Shaw half volley. It was fantastic.
It was like a blessing and a curse.
Fantastic. Yeah, exactly.
It's great to go up 1-0, but like now their mindset changed. They're like, oh, we have the lead. So like even if you're not natural or even if you're not physically trying to sit back naturally, you're like, I don't have to attack as hard because I actually have the lead. I just have to stop them. And again, that's going to end up biting you in the butt.
We saw probably even going into halftime, especially in the second half, it was all Italy. It was one-way traffic at Wembley. It's one of
now in extra time, I think it was
England actually.
England had some chances. But I think if you were to give a player of the game, I might give it to Chiesa.
Yeah,
I didn't really know much going into the tournament. He didn't score the goal, but he was active all night.
Yeah, he looked the most lively. He's got pace to burn. Good touch. I don't know. Immobile and Acuna didn't have his best game.
Immobile, I didn't see much.
It's tough for him. He's not a true number 9. He's trying to play off the shoulder of John Stones and Harry Maguire, who have been locked down all tournament. So it was a little tough for him. But yeah, I would give it to Chiesa. Luke Shaw played well. He always turns up, puts the ball in dangerous areas.
I thought Harry Kane played pretty well, honestly. He had some good passes. He had the pass that led to the first goal to Trippier. Pickford played well. Pickford played really well. Pickford's such a weird guy because he can make a great save, but
his
distribution into the
needs some work. But he's
kind of a meme to me.
Just the way he stretches for saves. I don't know. He's very good athleticism and reflexes. Yeah, but he's you know who he oh sorry. You know who he reminds me of? This is a terrible comparison. He reminds me of Steve Clark, the Timbers goalie. Just a lot
of you guys might not know.
So Steve Clark's the Timbers goalie. He's super athletic, a little short, but just will make some crazy saves, and then just make some bonehead plays. You know what bonehead play I'm talking about.
Right. Against
the Timbers,
the team he's on now.
Yeah, but I don't know. And then so the game ends up going to penalties.
That penalty shootout.
Yeah, it was crazy. So kind of just
it was hard to watch. Those who didn't, so fun to watch.
For those who didn't watch, Pickford starts off with a save, and then
crowd going crazy.
England score. Kane. No, I'm sorry. They both start off with a score. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They both score. Pickford saves. Maguire puts it in top bins.
Who scored the first one?
Kane scored the first one for Italy.
The very first one
for Italy. Doesn't matter.
Kind of irrelevant.
Yeah. Then Pickford saves. Maguire puts it in the top bins.
Belotti missed it.
Yep. Pickford saves.
Pickford saves. My bad.
Yep. You're good. So then Italy come back and score. Rashford misses off the post. Then I believe it was they scored again. Bonucci scored. England missed.
Sancho missed.
Sancho missed. Then Jorginho comes.
Or no, it was
Sancho.
Yep. I know, but Italy went first. We forgot Bernardeschi was in there too.
Yeah,
somewhere in there.
Yeah.
Then Bernardeschi missed.
No, it was Belotti who missed.
Belotti and Bernardeschi missed because they ended up winning 3-2.
Jorginho missed. So Bernardeschi scored. So that's okay. So then Jorginho comes up, and he's got his little jump step pen, which absolutely just burned the Spain goalkeeper in the
Simon.
Yeah, which is hilarious. But so Pickford stands his ground, makes a big time save off the post. I was like, oh my gosh, off the post, England, it's destiny.
It was one of those where you had to react right. You couldn't guess.
And Donnarumma makes his second save because Rashford off the post. But the interesting thing about the penalty shootout, Rashford goes third, Sancho goes fourth, Saka goes fifth. 3 young guys, Sancho and Rashford, came on in the 119th, 4 penalties.
I see a lot of people
Southgate's getting a lot of hate.
But in the end, I've just seen it all over Twitter. People hating, but
well, people
in training, Saka could put it top bins every time and hit great pins.
It's if Sterling is putting it wide in pins and Saka's banging it in.
Yeah,
you're gonna.
It just happened to be the youngest guys, and he had to score to stay alive, and he did that.
And I think because
he's going against a really good keeper too.
Yeah, because they got subbed on late, I think Southgate got a lot of heat for that. Which,
that's what it was.
And people, when your team lose, and I understand, they're always going to find a reason why they lost.
It was Sancho's. Sancho didn't touch the ball the whole game until that penalty.
With that pen.
That's crazy.
But
feel for him.
Yeah, penalty shootouts is a tough way to lose. It's fantastic when you win.
Someone's always gonna.
I've done penalty shootouts. I've missed in penalty shootouts, and it is not.
It is the most pressurized part of sports of all time.
You left the team down. You let the team down.
Yeah.
And you see the anguish on Rashford's face. It's tough. Southgate's gonna get heat, but it wasn't meant to be.
At least they have Southgate to console them and help them throughout. And they're all young.
Southgate missed a pen.
Southgate missed a pen.
But it's not coming home. Bonucci said to the camera, it's coming to Rome, which the reason why I wanted Italy to win is it's very tough here. I love England. I love the players. I think the players are really good. They're fans, man. They're fans.
Yeah, there's some fans out there that have like completely changed, and like they're I like them England fans because
there's some England fans
that are like
the bad apples of the bunch.
Oh gosh, it's annoying.
I don't know. For me, it's just like saying it's coming home and stuff. Like I get it. It's like a cool chant. Just like the English media, even some fans are just so like they just think they're entitled to winning everything, and it's like okay, if you won. Like, good job, but let's be real. If England's gonna win a tournament, it's gonna be at Wembley, all the time.
Yeah, now that's the thing that I'm just like, if they ended up winning, I don't think you use that against them because it's not like.
I mean, it's not their fault they're playing there, but it's definitely a factor.
Yeah, I know, but like, I'm not gonna say they won the Euros, but it was because they were at Wembley, or they won the Euros, but would they have won if it wasn't at Wembley? I'm still just gonna say they won the Euros.
Yeah, but.
Like, if they were the host, like, would it be different if they were actually the host country of the Euros? Is it just because it was every team, some teams had to travel, some teams didn't?
Well, that's also, travel. England got to, I think it's valuable.
But it's not because they're actually at Wembley, it's because...
No, it's because they don't have to travel.
Because they were the only team that got to do it.
They get to, yeah. Which, people find a reason to why they lose or win. There's always excuses, and that's what people do. But looking ahead... For the World Cup in Qatar, you have England, who are going to be very good, very strong. I think this loss, England's still pretty young. I don't know if it's their time quite yet. Italy were kind of, it's Bonucci and Chiellini's last ride. They'll probably be there.
Yeah, everyone that's playing this Euros will play in the World Cup, you would think.
Yeah, Donnarumma took that step to be Italy's next stopper. It's fantastic for him.
I don't know, it's like perfect timing of passing the torch from Buffon to Donnarumma. You're going to have 40 straight years of just... insane
goalkeeping, yeah.
And there might be more before that.
Even in the Copa, Brazil and Argentina will both be pretty strong come Qatar. I think Argentina needed that to kind of see a win.
They have talent. That'll boost the confidence.
Yeah, and Brazil obviously is one of the most talented soccer nations. But that's kind of the soccer. I mean, we talk about Gold Cup just a touch.
I'm just not really interested in the Gold Cup as much just because the
best
player in the tournament just went down.
Yeah, Chucky Lozano. He's in concussion protocol, but I think he messed up his face.
He's out for the rest of the tournament.
No, he is. I don't know what the injury is.
Just rough stuff with head
injuries. I watched it. It was.
I didn't watch it. I just saw pictures of it in his face.
I saw
it. Like eye was bloody or something.
Yeah, he was in the box, kind of. It wasn't 1-on-1. There was it was a congested box. He was about to shoot, and Trinidad and Tobago player put a hand on his back, and Lozano tried to draw a pen and fell over, but the goalkeeper's coming out to block the shot, and Lozano's face went in, fell face first into the knee of the keeper. Ooh. Pretty gruesome, but he's out of the tournament, and the Gold Cup just isn't on the level of Copa and the Euro, so
they used all their talent for the Nations League.
Yeah, and World Cup qualifying, which is important for the U.S.
Yeah,
but not much on the Gold Cup.
Even Alphonso Davies is out for the whole Gold Cup.
Yeah, but if you're playing a big club, why would you want to play Martinique? It's I don't know. For Canada, winning a Gold Cup would be big, just because I think they've only done it once. But you gotta World Cup qualifying takes precedence at this point.
For sure.
So,
we'll talk a little baseball.
Yeah, let's talk a little baseball. So what's going on in baseball?
Well, we got Derby coming up tomorrow night, or maybe 2 nights, depending on when you see this.
All-Star weekend. The draft.
My pick is Joey Gallo. Some of the main guys in it is...
I got Ohtani.
Ohtani's in it. I actually... There's a little thing you can do on ESPN where you can, pick who's going to win. I actually got Juan Soto upsetting Ohtani round 1. There's just something about Ohtani that's just
There's a ESPN story about Ohtani.
There's always a big upset.
Yeah, there's a story about Ohtani on ESPN where, when he takes, BP, people think it's going to leave the actual park.
He's actually insane, but there's also...
2 pitcher and hitter.
Pete Alonso's in it, trying to retain his crown. You got Trey Mancini, which is
from the Orioles,
big fan favorite because he's missed all last year. Maybe it was 2019 with cancer. Joey Gallo. Who else is in there? I said Soto already.
Missing a couple, but it's fine.
Yeah, but it should be a fun thing. It's at Coors Field, so the ball will be flying.
Yeah, that'll be fun. The altitude in Colorado, that'll be fun. And then the All-Star game. Tuesday night, a lot of people missing it.
Yeah, we're missing a lot of
Which is
big stars.
fine,
We're missing Acuna, Trout, Buxton. That's just 3 off the top of my head.
Altuve, Correa, DeGrom.
DeGrom probably won't pitch, or he is not pitching.
No, he's
the
not.
good thing is Ohtani will be pitching and hitting. That's what the Angels manager says. So that'll be a big draw.
It's fine. Do they still do the thing where if the NL wins, NL gets home?
Oh yeah, it's something like home
I think it's in the World Series.
I'm not sure if they still do that. I would think they do.
Yeah, which is interesting. But speaking of injuries, so we're Braves fans, obviously. Ronald Acuna goes down with looked like to be a knee injury. And, the news comes out.
Very bad news.
Tears his ACL. He's out for the season. Heartbreaking news.
It's just not the Braves' year at all.
And, even, like, other fans are just like, it sucks. It sucks for baseball. Because he's one of the best young stars. It'd be like Tatis, Acuna.
Like,
Trout,
for those who are
hurt,
in, this is like Mbappe, literally, or Holland getting season-ending injury, or
it's like Devin Booker going
or Luka.
Sucks.
It's just literally
Injuries
this is
suck.
like a top 3 player in baseball right
Injuries suck. It's a part of the game, unfortunately, and a lot of people are like, "How do you tear your ACL in baseball?" It's like, well,
when you play on an indoor park that has a concrete warning track, Marlins. That's how. They are known to have one of the worst surfaces in baseball. But, I mean, so it is still a freak accident. But it begs the question on how do the Braves approach the rest of the season. They are still under 500, one of 3 teams in the MLB to not eclipse 500 once this year, along with the Marlins as well, and I think the Rangers. But
it's because a lot of bad teams
won on opening day. 4 games back of the division, and we still have the MVP from last year's roster. We'll have Darno coming back. We'll have Yanoa coming back.
Well, the interesting thing is, hopefully MLB will let us void Ozuna's contract.
I mean, I just don't know if we should. Like, there was a rumor we could go after Chris Bryant or something, but Bryant's contract is up after this year, so is it worth going for him now?
It's a 1-year rental.
Now, the one I really want to go for, and it would be a little reunion, is Craig Kimbrell, because he actually has his contract. He's 2 years left on his contract, and he would immensely help us right now because our bullpen is the worst part of our team right now. It is hard to watch sometimes.
Yeah. Will Smith,
when your best pitcher has like a 4 ERA.
Well, Will Smith has it's weird because baseball is very analytical, so Will Smith has a lot of good numbers, like advanced numbers, but he just doesn't instill confidence in the closing role. I don't know, even 2 nights ago, Garrett Cooper, Marlins, he was batting third that game. He almost had a 2-run walk-off bomb that flew out to the edge of the warning track. And I'm just like, Will Smith, can you I miss the days of Craig Kimbrell just coming out and shutting it down.
Eric Flaherty, Johnny Venters, Craig Kimbrell.
Yeah. Sit down, shut up, and go home. Show up.
I don't know what I'm saying. But the way the Braves approach the rest of the year will be very interesting because also the Mets do have a lot of their players coming back. But
we're coming up to the trade deadline.
I think you just don't be a buyer or a seller if you see a deal that helps the team.
You're talking about the Braves?
Yeah, talking about the Braves. There's no you don't have to label yourself as specifically a seller or a buyer. You can just sit back.
Yeah. So right now it's the trade deadline in MLB, so a lot of moves, and it's interesting because the Braves are like Acuna goes down, so it's like our playoff odds are not great already, and with probably your best.
I'll be interested to see what our playoff odds are.
They were 12% before Acuna went down. I would love to see them now. Really low, probably.
Because I did hear something on another podcast I listened to, or it was a quote that was brought up on a podcast, but it was, if your odds are in the single digits at this point in the year, you should be sellers. So, the Cubs, just 2 weeks ago, they were 30% chance to make playoffs. They went and lost 12 out of 13, and now they are single digit, and they're probably going to be sellers.
The Cubs are probably one of the bigger teams to watch at the deadline because Chris Bryant.
They have us at 7% now.
It's worth 7% now, but the funny thing is 4 games in baseball is not a lot.
Phillies jumped up to 18%.
Yeah. So you still have Freddie, you still have Ozzie, you still have Austin Riley, Dansby hopefully can get hot. I don't want the Braves because of this to overreact and become hard sellers like sell Freeman. That would suck. Freeman's contract.
It's just weird because Freeman talks about how much he wants to stay, and he's just there hasn't been any contract talk at all, and that's just a scary thing because Freeman, despite Acuna being really, Freeman's still the face of this team and the heart and soul of this team because he was the MVP last year, and he's the longest tenured player. He's who we built our team around in the rebuild.
But yeah, so right now, a lot of buyers. I'd say the buyers right now would be the Yankees, obviously, the Red Sox.
Yankees, a big thing with them is they're probably going to try to go after Trevor Story. it's just like basketball where the big market teams can just.
Yeah, the Yankees,
I don't think there's
the
a cap.
Dodgers.
There's
not a cap in baseball.
Yeah.
So that's why the Dodgers are so good and they reload.
Speaking of the Braves pick is coming up right now in the MLB draft.
Right, MLB draft's going on right now. Do I know much about MLB prospects?
MLB prospects.
Particularly.
I know Jack Leiter and Krumer. I know more of the
college
baseball guys like Henry Davis, Louisville. He went first overall.
Yeah. But the thing about baseball is like the farm system is, there's in NFL you draft 7 guys and they go to the actual team. In baseball you draft a ton of guys and you have 4 teams. You have A, AA, AAA, and then the majors. And there's this other. It's kind of funny. There's also what we like to call 4A players, who are players that dominate at AAA but suck in the majors. Camargo would be an example. Kind of like players who are too good for AAA or like play really well good in AAA but just
what is with
can't.
him? Is he still in the?
He's healthy. He's playing in AAA. He's playing in Gwinnett.
I would love to bring him up at this point.
But
we have a outfield. I don't want to see Adrian batting leadoff ever again.
Yeah, if the Braves can get a bat that they have under contract for at least more than this year, I think that's a win.
Just don't overpay.
No, don't overpay, but also like the farm system's all right. You got a couple good guys in there.
All right, Braves pick is in.
Who do we take?
Pitcher, Ryan Cusick out of Wake Forest, a 6'6", 235-pound right-handed pitcher.
Braves need pitching, so
don't hate it.
I don't hate it either. But aside from the Braves, we're Braves fans. I think more general baseball stuff is good too.
Is there any specific team we want to talk about?
It's kind of more just like. Right, it's kind of just
Bauer, talk about that situation. I don't really know much about it.
I don't really talk about Trevor Bauer. You guys know what happened.
The sexual allegations. I do actually really like him, and I loved watching his videos.
His vlogs, yeah.
He was one of the more well-liked and entertaining and good for baseball guys.
Yeah,
he
just makes it more fun. Makes you kind of
yeah.
So hopefully he gets that resolved. Hopefully he didn't do anything wrong. If he did, though, that would not be great. But yeah, right now in the NL would be the Dodgers still. The Dodgers are insane. The Padres and the Giants. The NL West is stacked.
Yeah, they're going to have the 2 wild cards.
Yeah, they'll have the 2 wild cards for sure.
You got to win your division if you want to make it.
Yeah, so the Braves going to have to win their division. The NL Central is probably going to the Brewers
right now.
In the AL, you have a lot of solid teams, but the Astros probably the
White Sox running away with the Central. You got Astros, best team out there right now.
Mm-hmm.
And then Red Sox are leading the East. But, the wild card fight out there is pretty big. Rays, I think, Rays are out there in first for the wild card. Athletics.
Yeah, the AL East is good.
And then you got Yankees, Blue Jays, even like the Angels and the Indians are looking good
for the Angels to make the playoffs. I don't think they will.
They need Trout to get healthy though.
Yeah, they need Trout to get healthy big time. Yeah, it's kind of we're kind of in the dog days of the baseball season right now. Okay, I take that back. All-Star break is good.
2 weeks will be the dog days of the baseball season.
July.
For most teams, not for the Braves.
Yeah, the Braves got to.
The Braves are either going to stay close or fall far behind. Okay, we can talk about someone real quick. It has to do with the Braves, but Pablo Lopez. What a performance by him.
So today, Pablo Lopez, the Marlins starting pitcher,
9 straight
fans
strikeouts.
His first 9, and that is a major league.
It tied the major league, or it's the modern day
major league record.
In 1884 or
1884, a guy did it, but that was in 1884. It's not considered in the modern era. So Pablo Lopez, and they were. I don't know if they were all swinging strikes, but Adrianza, Freeman, the whole lineup just swing and miss. And
it's like funny how we go from rooting for Ronald Acuna home runs to just Adrianza making contact in the 4th inning.
Yeah, it's tough. But yeah, good for Pablo Lopez. Not a huge fan of him. He beaned Acuna with the first pitch a couple weeks ago. Another interesting thing about the Acuna injury is the Marlins Twitter.
Oh, I saw that.
So they, and if
pretty bad.
Any of you Marlins fans are watching, first off, I feel bad for you because your team sucks every year.
When's the last time they were good? I think they made the playoffs 3 times in their history, and they won 2 World Series.
Made it last year, but who did you lose to in the playoffs?
Ooh.
I'm just kidding. But the Marlins Twitter is kind of lows. The tweet was, "Do you want to see Jazz in an inside the park home run?" And it was a picture of Acuna lying, holding his knee in obvious pain. And it's just like,
It was cool.
Just patronizing.
Jazz Chisholm wore yellow gloves today in honor of Acuna because they are good friends. I mean,
the Marlins starting pitching staff in Acuna or not though?
There's not. There's just we're gonna be mourning Acuna for a long time.
Oh,
makes
man,
it sound like he's dead, but like he's
just
such
fun
a
to
huge
watch.
part of our team, and like
So
hopefully he won't be out.
I think that's
next
good
year.
on baseball. I think we're good on baseball. Okay, so another thing I kind of want to incorporate in every podcast is like sports betting.
Yeah. Okay.
So kind of dabble in it a little bit. I'm just
we were
kidding.
we were pretty
dabble.
big in it a couple weeks ago. We kind of slowed down recently.
We dabble. But I kind of give me for tomorrow. You probably haven't done much research.
Okay.
That's
You want
fine.
to give you a pick?
Give me a pick.
Give you a pick. All right.
Give me 2 locks for people.
Some of my picks in the past. A couple days ago,
I want y'all to hold him accountable to his record. No.
A couple days ago, I went White Sox. That won, and then the other day we actually never locked it in. But
give me your home run derby winner.
If I was a betting man right now, I would put it on Gallo, and I would.
That'd be a
I
good
think
pickup for the
Gallo,
Braves.
lefty. I mean, he ropes the ball. He hits towering home runs, and the home run derby is a lot about stamina. And I'm not sure Ohtani's going to have that, just given the fact that in the past he has had a lot of injury issues. So maybe he won't go super hard. But then again, Guerrero went against Alonso, and both of those guys aren't technically athletic specimens.
Alonso won last year though.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, excuse me.
But if I were to... Oh, wait, there's no lock tomorrow. There's no baseball tomorrow, so that eliminates basically all the locks. I mean, look at some Gold Cup. Is there anything in Gold Cup, really? I don't think so.
That's fine. Just give me your derby winner. You said Joey Gallo. So if anyone wants to
Maybe
throw
give
money
me
on
Jamaica to beat Sir and
Suriname?
SUR. I don't know who that
That's
is.
Suriname.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's why the Gold Cup's just like, come on.
Once we get to like the semifinals, that's when it'll be interesting.
Let's talk for a couple minutes about the NBA Finals.
Giannis is right now, I think, is going off.
So Game 3 is on, as we're recording this actually. Milwaukee is currently beating Phoenix 87-76, late third. Like I said, Giannis with 29. But, again, must-win for Milwaukee here, obviously. Can't go down 3-0. Who do you see taking the finals? Phoenix?
I mean, now that I'm looking at Drew Holiday shooting well, 5 for 10 from 3, I mean, if he's playing well and Middleton's playing well, then why not?
Update, they're
go
up 14
Bucks?
now.
If I had to pick for sure, I'd probably go Suns just because they're more consistent.
Home court.
But I do think the Bucks will end up tying the series 2-2. I think the series goes
7?
I think the series goes 7. I think the home team wins every time. Because the Bucks,
I don't know.
I don't
It's
remember
either
the last time the Bucks lost.
It's either
at home.
Suns in 5 or Suns in 7.
The Bucks didn't lose at home.
Bucks
in
ain't
round
losing Game
one.
6.
Who did the Bucks play in the?
Nets.
They played the Hawks. They've lost one home game this entire playoffs, and that was to the Hawks. And that was the game Giannis went down. So
There you go.
I've got a lot of faith in Giannis right now.
So,
He looks like he is.
You like Bucks?
I know. I like Bucks too.
Get it to 7.
Get it to 7, but I think the Suns win.
Okay. I want the Bucks to win,
I
but
want
I
the Bucks.
think the Suns are going to.
It's
I don't
honestly
know.
like the
I want
England Italy. I kind of want. I want both teams to win because I want Giannis to win because I actually really like Giannis. I think he is the most genuine player, one of the most genuine players out there. Like, there's so many cool videos of Giannis, and I just think, like, how do you hate him? And then I want to see Chris Paul win a championship. I don't technically want to say I'm a huge Chris Paul fan. I don't mind him, but again, it's kind of like Messi. And I'm not comparing Chris Paul to Messi by any way
Both
here,
small.
but I want to always see good players that have great careers end up at least getting a championship. Not at least, but end up getting a championship. It looks like Booker's having a bad game right now.
Because Bucks up 17 in the fourth.
3 for 14 from Booker. Kobe would never.
Kobe would.
Never.
Would.
Kobe would have a bad game in the finals?
Okay, maybe not in the finals, but
Yeah, Kobe could. Kobe might
he
have.
could. But he would.
It's
Would.
possible. It's possible, but it's
But
not
is it plausible? Is it
Yeah.
possible? But is it
Yeah,
plausible?
okay, I see that. Yeah, it looks like
That was a game on
Booker.
there.
Yeah, it's.
Well.
Yeah, I don't even know who's coming in the game right now. I think it's Abdul Nader.
The Thunder player?
He's on the Suns now.
Wow.
Somehow.
Suns got some depth. I will give
Suns
them
got
that.
some depth.
Campaign.
Cam Johnson just put an absolute poster. You probably haven't even seen it yet.
I haven't.
But Like, use some dude to jump. I don't even know.
Last thing we'll talk about today. Because, episode 1's a big sports, roundup here. I think for future videos.
What do you think our title for this video is going to be? You already know, obviously, because you clicked on it, but
Ooh, facts. I'm thinking.
Obviously, when you're starting a podcast, you want to try to get the most views possible and
talk about soccer. Tell them about soccer.
Get it off the ground. But is Messi gonna get the most clicks? Or are we just gonna call it?
Today we talk about. I think it should be Messi finally wins for Argentina, episode 1 of Winner Stays On podcast.
Or we have a double Messi wins.
I think also what we're gonna do it could be someone with Messi. I like that. But I think in the future, I like these sports roundups, but I'm also a big fan of doing a ranking or a tier list. I'm a big fan of those.
Those are fun. If you probably already know if you're watching this, but we do have another podcast, the Rip City Rundown podcast.
Rip City Rundown podcast.
We've had that for a long time. This studio will turn into these jerseys will get replaced. We'll have more Blazer stuff back here when we do that.
Yeah.
But
that's kind of right now. It's a little slow off season for the Blazers.
We're gonna start another podcast because we actually really want to talk about other sports.
Yeah. Well, okay. Last thing I want to talk about today is obviously because we said it in the intro, we're NASCAR fans. So NASCAR race today at Atlanta.
There's probably no one on this video right now that
gives a
because NASCAR's going to be nowhere in the title because NASCAR is not the most popular sport right now.
But for those of you who do follow NASCAR on the off chance, it was at Atlanta Motor Speedway today. It was the last race on the current kind of iteration of the track. They're going to repave it. Kurt Busch gets
the Bucks are up 22 at the end of the third.
Wow.
That's the final update for the Bucks because it looks like they are winning game 3.
But Kurt Busch wins it for NASCAR. Again, a lot of y'all are just not going to be watching NASCAR. That's fine. Maybe you've heard of Kyle Busch or Kurt Busch. Kyle Busch probably one of the more popular drivers. Is that the poster?
Yeah, Cam Johnson's ball sack is over
is that
over PJ Tucker's face.
That's a nice image. Nice.
NASCAR.
But yes, I just wanted to throw that out there. We're in sports.
We like 24 car.
William Byron's from Charlotte.
In general.
Hendrick Motorsports is our favorite team. Rick Hendrick's a nice guy.
I'm actually into F1 a little bit more now. I started watching the Drive to Survive. I already watched
on Netflix.
On Netflix, it's actually really good. You should watch it. I'm liking Daniel Ricciardo right now. If you know who that is.
I don't.
He raced for Red Bull.
I know Julio Castroneves.
That is not F1. That is IndyCar, which is a lot of people confuse. IndyCar is more USA based. F1 is
F1 is Monte Carlo.
F1 is everything.
I don't watch much F1. I'm not gonna lie.
But F1 is getting really popular now.
True.
That is really everything we have.
Dude, that's kind of everything we got.
How far are we in? We are 42 minutes in.
Pretty good length for a pod.
That's a pretty good length.
Definitely, I think we'll try to be a little more specific. Maybe we're not saying it just has to be a daily pod, but pretty frequent.
Yeah, if I just want to talk about sports, we'll just come down.
There are sports every day, so
yeah.
But I think the style-wise,
I don't see us doing one tomorrow.
No, yeah, but I think in the future you'll see a little more specificity. Specific topics. I don't know. Specificity.
Specificity is not a word.
Specificity. I did specifically.
Winner stays on. I like that name.
Winner stays on.
Guess
I'm Cristiano Ronaldo.
Maybe, is that how we end the No, it's not.
No.
Too much of a copy.
Winner Stays On podcast though. Definitely check us out. We're gonna keep it going.
Right now it's on YouTube. You're probably seeing this. You are seeing it on YouTube right now.
Yeah.
But I want to expand it to Spotify.
Spotify would be dope.
Spotify's on. Rip City Rundown podcast is on Spotify.
Yeah, if you want to listen to that, if you are a Blazer fan, if you want to see some people get mad about the Blazers lost the Nuggets,
just go listen to.
Check it out.
What was it? The June 2nd podcast.
He got the date too.
Actually, that wasn't after the official loss. That was after.
That is funny.
Even more heartbreaking loss, the Game 5 loss.
That is funny. I think that's all we got. We will see y'all next podcast. Again, we'll probably be a little more specific.
And if you're watching this, just comment down below and say.
Yeah. Okay. If you watch this far,
I know that people.
There's 3 things I want y'all to comment, or you can pick. Who's the GOAT, Ronaldo or Messi? That's the first one. Who do you think's gonna win the World Series? That's the second one.
And
give me comment below your favorite
one NASCAR driver you know.
Ooh, facts. I bet some of y'all can't even name one.
Don't cheat.
Don't cheat. No one likes cheaters.
Yeah, no one likes the Astros.
Shots fired?
Yeah.
The Astros?
Altuve just hit another walk-off against the Yankees today.
Was he wearing a buzzer?
No, but he ripped off his shirt.
You see what Judge did? See what Judge did?
I hope they play in the playoffs somehow.
That'd be fantastic. You see what Judge did?
Yeah, he like
covered it. He's like, it's cold.
It was cold. That's funny.
It's BS.
Yeah.
That's all we got. That's the Winner Stays On podcast. That was episode 1. We will see y'all for episode 2, and yeah, we'll see y'all later.
See ya.
Peace out.